Evolution defines life as we know it. No matter what, biological beings discover a way to continue forward on life's timeline. More often than not, this continuation requires change, adaptation, and growth, the definition of evolution and therefore of life. As biological creatures, human beings experience evolution as he or she ages. Sarah Bareilles, a writer, singer, and actress, reflects on an experience many adults live through. The person she once was is no longer the person she is. And she used to be mine, from the musical Waitress. Bareilles contemplates her evolution from someone she knew to someone she hardly recognizes, and conveys her troubled thoughts in her music video and lyrics through tone, personification, parallelism, and juxtaposition. Both the visual and verbal components of Bareilles' She Used to Be Mine produce a somber tone. The music video consists of a girl, Bareilles, who is followed throughout her day with no additional people. What creates a somber tone is how her story is presented, in black and white. The color in her life slowly has disappeared as she became less and less herself. The black and white video allows for the watcher to focus on Bareilles and the words she sings. As the lyrics begin, she is accompanied only by piano. The subdued instruments emphasize her words, which also carry somber weight in their meanings. Most days, I don't recognize me, it's not easy to know I'm not anything like I used to be, start the effect of the tone. The sentence is heavy, acknowledging for the first time the drastic changes that have occurred over the years. The final phrase, she is gone but she used to be mine, completes the song. It not only indicates the somber tone, but it encases the song's entire purpose of not recognizing the person you've become throughout the years. Bareilles personifies her life, making it seem as if it were a person who has transformed her in a way that is unrecognizable. As she describes her work, she mentions that it has taken more than she gave, referring to the people surrounding her. Her patrons have changed her, and she no longer has the ability to continue to fight for herself. She has transformed remarkably over the years, and her efforts to hold on to her past self have been depleted. Soon enough, she realizes that her life suddenly has slipped through the back door, undetected, until it was too late. Therefore, it changed her by carving out a person that is not what she asked for. Personifying her life as something that takes rather than gives portrays it as a negative influence. It further reveals her feelings as if her identity had abandoned her. Later in the song, life evolves into a positive force. The life that's inside her grows stronger each day, providing her with newfound energy. This energy reminds her to fight for herself once again. It ignites power within, encouraging Bareilles to resist the draining force that created bland surroundings. Instead, she needs to reach for happiness that previously colored her life. In order to create an obvious distinction between Bareilles' past self and her present self, she utilizes parallel structure and juxtaposition. She is, followed by a description, repeats numerous times throughout the chorus. Although Bareilles is speaking of herself in the past, she chooses to apply a present tense verb. This choice not only provides her past self a foundation to sit upon as a real person, but also establishes a stark contrast between the two characters she speaks about. The adjective that follows each she is describes the past self. Bareilles incorporates positively and negatively connotated diction in these sentences. She points out a flaw of her past self, but qualifies it with a positive trait. Specifically doing this emphasizes that her past self is not perfect. However, she is a preferable element than her present self. She describes her past self as someone who will be reckless just enough and who will get hurt, both of which are viewed as unwanted characteristics. Right after this lyric, Bareilles mentions that she has learned how to toughen up, something that many wish for. This juxtaposition expresses her acceptance for who she was, even though there were weaknesses in her character. Also, she comments on how she's imperfect, but she tries. She is messy, but she's kind. She reminisces over her past, and after describing her past traits, she mentions that she is gone, but she used to be mine. Looking in the mirror and seeing a significant change in who you are happens to be a common occurrence. Many adults experience this as they grow from a young, carefree child to a careful, older adult. Sarah Bareilles, in She Used to Be Mine, comes to this realization. She discusses her past self through the song while incorporating a somber tone, personification, parallel structure, and juxtaposition in order to reflect on her evolution through her continuation of life.